Hello, I am Umbrenero, and welcome back to Umbrenero's Life. Today's video is relaxing through a puzzle. I wanted to do a puzzle and change up some decorations in the process. We have a very large picture frame that held a different 2000 piece evolution puzzle that I assembled a few years ago. So, the new one I did is the same exact size, and it still fit the Pokemon theme that I tend to have with all two of my puzzles. In all, doing this entire puzzle took around 10 hours, but I did not want this video to be 10 hours long, so I got it down to under 18 minutes. So, enjoy filling in this puzzle. The first thing that I did was do the outline. I find it easier having the outer edge done first because then a lot less you have to worry about going on, because then you know your size, you know roughly where certain parts are, things like that. But in that process, I also decided to sort out all of the pieces that had a white line on them, going through them, stuff like that, because this puzzle was a bunch of different pictures, each surrounded by a white box. So, easiest way was to start getting all the white boxes assembled. As I was getting the white parts, I was trying to put them with the parts they would go into eventually, or near the parts they would go into eventually, just to make it easier for when that time came. And I did eventually start sorting them kind of by the area they belong to, according to the reference picture. So a big reason of why I wanted to do a puzzle this year is because they are pretty relaxing sometimes, and when I did this one, my mind was everywhere and I needed to check out. So this is what I wanted to do. So for the hours that it took to do this, it was a very good distraction. And yes, there was some of it that I did not record because I didn't realize my camera did die. So you can see here I had all the borders done. Now it was sorting all of the pieces by what color they belong to. And this in itself was a little bit fun, but also frustrating for certain areas because so many Pokemon and of some of the backgrounds were very, very close in color and in design. So what looked like it could go in one spot belonged in a completely different spot. And this happened many times. Like, there were days that during my lunch from work, I was filling in pieces of the puzzle and just trying to get farther. But I did not sort all my pieces like some people will do with a puzzle. I just grab a piece, see where it fits, and put it in that general area. But as you can see here, I was starting to get close to having a few of the portions of this puzzle completed, and it really just took a lot of time. I believe Mew was the first one I had done because it was one of the smallest squares to complete. And yes, the larger ones did take a little bit longer, but it was more because I had to match the color shades perfectly and not get them confused between other ones of similar color. As you can see around here, I had some colors piled into squares where I thought they would fit better, because from the shades that they looked like, it seemed like they belonged in these areas, and for the most part, that is where a good majority of them ended, except for with the orange pieces. The orange pieces were the worst ones to sort and go through because the Charizard over on the left had a lot of colors similar to the Charmander on the right, and just getting through them was a pain. The other difficult area was Gyarados and Blastoise, because they both had similar color palettes, and some pieces easily got swapped in between those two. And the biggest difference between this puzzle and the previous one I did not do this one in 3 days. Because the last one I did over the course of 24 hours in 3 days, this was a few hours a night or sometimes during my lunch, and I spread this out between a few days instead of just doing one day and hoping I got it. Well, not one day, 3 days and hoping I just got it done. But my main method for doing this puzzle was just grabbing a handful normally and just putting them in the areas where I felt they would go. And sometimes I got lucky and had a lot of one part. Sometimes I did not get so lucky. So it just varied depending on the day. I finally got to the point of working on the Blastoise in the upper right-hand corner, and while I was doing this one, it's when I realized some of the Gyarados pieces I was missing from the left-hand side were put over here because of the similar colors, and luckily I was able to get them back to the part they belong to. Because what I was doing is when I was going through an area with a bunch of pieces set there, I would toss the pieces that didn't fit there towards the area they belong. So that way I didn't have to worry about them while I was doing the section I was working on. But here we are getting to the final areas that needed finishing, which was all of the orange around Charizard and Charizard itself, and the rest of Charmander. This was the most difficult part, and a lot of that background was just such a similar shade that it's like, all right, what piece goes where, and just trying to fit it together. So I just started pulling pieces that were the same color out, checking, seeing if they matched Charmander. If not, I put them together for Charizard. It was the easiest way I could go about doing it. In all, this puzzle was a good change of decoration from the puzzle I had previously up. So, thanks for watching, and until next time, I am Umbrenero. Bye!